The shockwave that hits Los Angeles begins with a single whisper, the possibility that Hope Logan and John Finn Finnegan might actually share the same biological father. It starts as one of those quiet, almost unbelievable soap opera murmurs that no one dares say out loud, but soon it becomes impossible to ignore as new information surfaces, secrets resurface, and certain details that never made sense begin to fall into place. The entire storyline unfolds with a slow burn, but once the truth begins to move, it crashes into the characters like a tidal wave. Everything starts when a familiar piece of the past slips back into the present, a clue tied to Hope's paternity that was once buried and thought to be irrelevant forever. Hope spent most of her life believing Deacon Sharp was her biological father, and despite all the complications between them, that story has always been accepted as fact. But the new clue suggests there was one missing chapter, a chapter involving her mother, Brooke Logan, during a window of her past that she never revisits because it holds memories she buried long ago. This forgotten period overlaps with a time in which one specific man crossed her path, the very same man tied to Finn's origins. When this connection comes to light, Finn becomes confused and unsettled. His own history has always been messy, shrouded in lies, stolen files, hidden records, and Sheila Carter's manipulations. He has always known the man he was told was his father, Jack Finnegan, carried secrets, including the one that Sheila was actually his biological mother. But what if Jack wasn't his father after all? What if there was another man, someone who was involved in Brooke's life long before anyone connected the dots? The idea that Finn might not only have been misled but might also be biologically linked to the Logan family rattles him in a way he cannot hide. Hope, on the other hand, finds herself torn between disbelief and dread. She has already endured heartbreak, trauma, and the weight of her complicated family tree. The idea that she and Finn might be half-siblings creates a ripple that touches every part of her life. Her connection to Steffi, her lingering complicated bond with Thomas, and her relationship with the Forresters as a whole. The shock is so intense that she begins replaying moments from the past, trying to understand how such a truth could remain hidden for decades. Brooke struggles the most. Her past is filled with chaotic romances, impulsive choices, and moments she regrets, and this discovery forces her to confront a chapter she never expected to revisit. When the accusation surfaces, she is forced to admit that there was indeed a brief interaction with Finn's biological father at a time when her life was already complicated. She never thought it amounted to anything, and certainly never imagined a child resulted from it. That hesitation, that flicker in her eyes, is what convinces everyone that something truly significant is buried beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Steffi's world nearly spins out of control at the possibility that her husband could be related to one of her biggest emotional rivals. The tension between her and Hope has always hovered between rivalry and hostility, and the idea that they could be family, true biological family, is almost too surreal for her to process. It would rewrite the dynamics of the Forrester, Logan, and Finnegan families in a single stroke, affecting marriages, alliances, custody battles, and romantic futures. The storyline becomes a ticking clock leading toward an inevitable DNA test. Every character waits, holding their breath, unsure of whether they are about to watch their lives collapse or transform. If the result proves Hope and Finn share a father, it would not only reshape their identities but also redefine decades of relationships across Los Angeles. This shocking twist is the kind of sweeping, emotional revelation that The Bold and the Beautiful uses to shake the core of the show. A truth capable of tearing families apart, binding enemies together,